Hello, Green Light the Day family. Today, everyone is observing the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Hope some of us are off of work and some of us are still working, but either way, I hope that you can use this time as a moment to reflect. I know that Dr. King is recognized for his civil rights movement and voter rights, and even before he died, equality and economy. But I wanted to focus something a little clearer or closer on Dr. King because it's something that I feel really is important. You know, we have just seen the worst in people in this past couple of months. We've seen police brutality, we've seen bombings, we've seen shootings, and sometimes it seems like it will never end. And the thing that I find ironic is that there are laws to protect people, right? There are laws to make sure these things don't happen. But laws are not always powerful, and people aren't always going to follow the law. So what will change this world? What will give, as they say, peace a chance? And I think it's us. You and I individually. And I've talked about this before, but it keeps coming my way. So it's obviously something I need to work on and that I need to share with you. So one of the things that Dr. King had always said, and I remember this quote, is that he longed for a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by their character. And I know it seems like a big word, but it is really, really so important that we think about it. And all of the great leaders, they've all been imperfect. You know, I think about, even the founding fathers who believed that all men were created equal, had slaves, or people who didn't believe women should have the right to vote, or even someone as recent as Maya Angelou. And if you ever read her autobiography, she could tell you some things that she did that was not very loving. But the thing is, they remain committed to building their character. And I really think that that is the only thing that's going to change this world, is what you and I do on an individual basis. I'm a social justice major, and a lot of the students were talking about, is it fair that white people come into black neighborhoods and do this and do that? And I said, really, if we change things that are in front of our face, it will expand behind any neighborhood. If you are unhappy with any income inequality, there's your bank you can, boycott, or there are your civic leaders that you can talk to. But it has to start with us and where we're at. And I think people forget that. They want to, join a movement. I don't want to take too much time on this because I know there's just so many things going on in the world today. Excuse me, I have a little cold, so hopefully it's one of those colds that, will be here today and gone tomorrow. I can only hope. But I just wanted to touch a little bit on integrity because that's one thing that I focus on with Dr. King. I don't focus so much on, I know there's a movie out right now, but what kind of man was he to get up after being knocked down so many times? What kind of person was Mother Teresa? That they could just, live in extreme poverty. I don't know. So one of the things that he was talking about when it comes to integrity, and I think this situation we can really think about a lot in our lives. And I love kind of how it goes. If we don't watch it, our actions become our legacy. For example, we cheat just this once time. Nobody will really notice. It's not that much. Who cares? We lie. Just this once. It's just so easy just to tell a lie. We put off a hard task. Oh man, this is ridiculous. I'm going to do it this way. I know I was told to do it that way, but this is so much easier. I skip the workout. It's just this one time. It's just for the week. We take a drink. It's just going to be one. I know I'm not supposed to. I know what'll happen if I keep drinking, right? And what happens is that we find that each of these little breaks in our will leads to another, and then to a lifetime of compromise and regret. We have to practice integrity. And one of the things that he says in here is, it's kind of a morbid thought, but if you could listen to people talk about you at your funeral, what would they say? And I don't mean like, she was a wonderful mother or a good daughter, or, she was a hard worker. More things like, she was a really good listener. I could always count on her. She kept her word. And I thought about some of the things that I want. And so, I wrote down 4 things. And one of the things that I worked on last week was listening and asking questions. I want to be known as a good listener. And it takes practice, let me tell you. But that's how you build character. And the thing to think about a character, are you connecting with others and are you contributing? And I want to just briefly go to the 7 temptations of character. Number 1, impatience. I really have to work on that. If I'm standing in line, if I'm waiting on the phone, if I'm from the South, and so people take forever to get to the story, get to the point. But when I get impatient, I act ugly. And then especially, I think people owe me something. I think I'm entitled. Well, I paid for this service, so this is what I want. I didn't get it, so let me speak to your supervisor. Wow. That's not what I want to be remembered as. Number 2, disappointment. We're going to be disappointed. Unfortunately, that's life. But we can't become our disappointment. Right? It's just one part of a greater puzzle. Right? Because if you get disappointed, you'll stop trying. You'll be okay with whatever comes your way. You'll be mediocre. Okay? Desperation. I really have to work on this. When I want things done, and this is kind of an extension of impatience, but when I get so desperate that I'm willing to cut corners, that I'm not willing to take the right steps, I'm not willing to learn things that will give me confidence, right? I just think about some things you've done when you've been desperate, right? Aggression. Boy, I tell you, when I think about that in the world today, I got into a cab, and I got into the wrong cab, so then I had to get into the right cab, and the cab driver started yelling at me, and I said, well, and I do my 2 hands, stop, you're not going to talk to me like that. And then I asked him, after I said, you know what, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like that. I'm in your cab right now. Have you had a rough day? What's going on? And we were able to change that conversation. But I wasn't going to fight aggression with aggression. No. I don't want to do that anymore. The temptation of hurt. Oh, this is such a big one. But we have to be so careful, because if we hold on to hurt, this is what's going to happen. We're going to keep that feeling of hurt, and we're going to integrate it into our darkness. It's going to get into our soul, and we're also going to cast it into the soul of others. So with hurt, we need to love, right? Loyalty. I love this one too. It's like, what are you loyal to? Or who are you loyal to? When did you become loyal to this person or thing? Is it still working for you? Is this person the same person that you knew before? Is the loyalty warranted? Have you changed? Why are you being loyal to something that no longer serves a better purpose? Which reminds me, if you're ever in a situation where you're wondering, am I acting with integrity? Ask yourself, am I answering or doing my best? Yes. And the last one talks about power. Not that there's anything wrong with power, but what you did before you were powerful is going to what you're going to do even to its extreme when you do have power. And I love the way it ends. It says, in acquiring abundance and influence, we must remain true to what we stand for and the best of who we are each and every day of our lives. This is real power. So on this day, when we are recognizing a hero or someone who led others to change, I mean, it wasn't just him, it was thousands of people of every race and gender and class that came together to say, we're going to make this change. They thought about their character and what they want to stand for and what they wanted to be known for. And I think this can happen again. I think that if we stand up for who we really want to be, we can make change. Anyway, I hope you find someone that you look up to with their character or integrity. Write down that word. Carry it with you today. How is that changing your life? Have a great day. Have a wonderful week. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.